Hey everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource. And question I wanted to answer today is a question I get from sellers a lot, especially first-time sellers. But in a multiple offer situation, which offer should I accept? So obviously that's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of different factors that can go into making that decision, but it's not always about price. Highest does not mean best. And it's really that and what risks are you willing to take? So I would say some of the biggest concerns for most sellers that they may not think about, obviously price, because you know the most you can get for your house is in your best interest typically. But a few other things to consider are timing. When is the buyer wanting to close? If you need time to go find another property or time after closing to move out or relocate to another state, etc., and you need some post-closing occupancy time or some rent back time, is that something that they can offer? If so, how much is that worth to you? Because the offer that has that in there for you may be, $1,000 less or $5,000 less. So sometimes not having to make a double move can actually not only save you time and stress, but can save you money as well. And a lot of sellers don't think about that. So just because the offer may be a little bit less, if you're not having to pay movers to move your things twice or, a rental for 3 months or something like that, then maybe it's worth that, little bit difference in cash. Also, is terms, not just relating to timing, but relating to financing terms. So is it a cash buyer that's waiving the appraisal? Because if so, that takes a lot of risk out of the process and a lot of the complication. Is it a conventional buyer or FHA buyer? And if so, or VA buyer, how much are they putting down? That just because someone isn't putting as much down doesn't mean they're not as strong of a buyer, but it can definitely answer some questions. If they have $50,000 to put down, if there's an issue that comes up at the inspection that may cost $500 to fix, they may be less likely to ask you to fix that problem because they have the cash to fix it. Obviously, this is totally dependent on market situation and everything else, market conditions and such, but just some things to consider there. Maybe you want someone who is using, some down payment assistance or some lower down payment loan program because you can relate to that. Maybe you purchased your house with some down payment assistance and you want to help someone else get into their first home even if they're a little bit tight on cash. So there's a lot of other factors to consider. I would say the other one that a lot of my sellers ask about is who's going to be living there. So I know most people think, oh, money talks and whoever offers the most money gets the house. Not always. That's why I'm a huge fan of writing a love note, and I talk about that in my multiple offer strategies for buyers video as far as how to stand out, is write a love note. Because the sellers want to see that. They want to know who's going to live in their home and love their home and be in the neighborhood. And a lot of sellers don't want to, they don't want to give their neighbors bad neighbors. And those things matter. And that's why those love notes, they work, they're free, take 10 minutes and do it. But a lot of sellers want to know who's going to live in the house. So anyway, just some things to consider if you're going to be selling your home and you're in, a strong seller's market, or if you have multiple offers to pick from. Your realtor, definitely ask your realtor what their thoughts are as well, as far as who the lender is and whether they can actually get to closing. Because if they're offering you more cash but they can't get to the closing table, then it really doesn't matter what they're offering you. It doesn't mean anything. So definitely talk to your realtor about the pros and cons of each offer, but those are some things to consider between the time that they're giving you. Maybe they're covering some of the fee costs and the other, other offers aren't. Anyway, just the things we talked about. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help. Please feel free to leave a question or comment down below. And you can also reach out to me directly. My contact information is on my website, and the link for that is down below as well. But thanks so much for the time, and have a great day. Bye-bye.